Behind the scenes, there's something interesting going on that not many people are aware of yet. There's a quieter story going on around AMC that paints a very different picture than the short-term price drops and fear of dilution that make the news. Today, we're going to talk about why banks and other groups seem to be quietly buying AMC shares. What new information does AMC's long-term plan have to do with it? Why price action might not be telling the whole story right now. When AMC recently announced a $150 million sale, became the most talked about thing in the market right away. But it's important to know that this move wasn't made out of thin air. AMC has been open about the need to raise money for years, especially to support its long-term plan to improve theater facilities. AMC laid out a multi-year plan in 2024 that could involve spending up to $1.5 billion over many years to improve sound, video, and upscale experiences. Part of this larger plan is to bring in more formats like 4DX. Additionally, data has consistently shown that premium theaters make more money and have better profit margins than regular screens. So getting more money isn't a sign of weakness. It's the next step in a plan that management has already shown can work. AMC is just doing more of what has been shown to work in the past. The business can increase profits without taking on too much risk by improving existing locations instead of recklessly expanding. This giving was always going to happen because being able to raise money is so important. Even so, the price dropped sharply when the news came out. AMC fell about 9% on the day. Many people thought right away that this meant investors were running for the doors. One thing is clear at first glance, but the order flow data shows a different story. Inflows were still higher than outflows even on a red day. In other words, there were still more purchases than sales. That doesn't mean there is a mass fear or abandonment. It means that pressure on prices is coming from somewhere else. This is where the layout of the market comes in handy. Price drops aren't always caused by people selling their shares. They may also come from aggressive short-side pressure and trading that isn't on the market. When a stock goes down, even though more money is coming in, it makes sense to be curious. It doesn't mean the offering didn't have any effect, but it does show that the move wasn't just caused by buyers' strong feelings. Still, the way institutions act tells its own story. Reports say that by the beginning of 2026, 6 JP Morgan managed funds had a total of about 2.73 million AMC shares. These roles were not made clear. They weren't talked about in the news. They were just quietly put together. This is important because big groups like to buy things when the prices are low, and they don't draw too much attention to themselves. When prices go up, it's harder to buy more shares, especially when higher prices mean fewer shares need to be sold. This makes it very clear why silencing is a good idea. What if the price of AMC was higher, like $5, $10, or even $20? The company could get the same $150 million by selling a lot fewer shares. When prices go down, more shares come onto the market. This helps people who are trying to buy more while keeping dilution stories alive. What's more interesting is that share supply keeps going down, even though there is a big offer on the table. Borrowable shares have been going down and down until they reach zero. That's happening at a time when there should be a lot of shares. This shows that demand is still high and says that the amount of short exposure may be much bigger than most people think. Borrowing pressure wouldn't be this high if hundreds of millions of shares could fix the problem. Also, some people think that when an offering happens, shorts can instantly get out of the market completely. It wouldn't make much of a difference if the whole offering was taken in by one company, if synthetic exposure is already very high. The fact that people are still borrowing money supports the idea that quantity is still limited. The dark pool data gives this story more depth. Off-exchange traffic was close to 60% when AMC prices briefly went up earlier in the year. As the price rose, dark pool usage went from 0% to 70% and then to 80%. Each price rise was accompanied by a new round of price cuts. Price didn't go up, even though there was more of it. More trades were sent away from public markets instead. This trend shows that more work is needed to keep price changes in check. Different days saw more than 17 million shares trade off exchange, and less than 2 million hit lit markets. That imbalance makes it hard to find the real price, and shows why price movement may not always show what people really want. When it comes to value, people have different ideas. Some traders and experts think that AMC's fundamentals alone are enough to keep prices in the $10 to $14 range, even if there are no short-term changes. From there, momentum could make short options that are grouped at higher prices close, which could lead to more movement. Others have goals that are higher or lower, but they all agree on one thing. They think AMC is undervalued, right? Now compared to its long-term plan and operational improvements. Besides AMC itself, bigger market signs give more information. Major banks say that there are now more short bets in a single stock than at any time in more than 10 years. At the same time, AMC has moved many times its original value in just a few months. When the volume is that high and the price changes not that much, it means that there is a lot of structural effect rather than natural selling pressure. Also, the connection between AMC and GME keeps making people wonder. Even though they are in very different fields, their price changes often coincide. This link shows that institutional investors have the same amount of exposure, rather than news about one company driving both stocks at the same time. AMC's interest in HYMC adds a new perspective that goes beyond theaters. Along with rising gold and silver prices, HIM saw big changes in prices. The prices of precious metals have been going up around the world, with silver and gold reclaiming important levels. One of the biggest undeveloped gold and silver deposits in the U.S. is owned by HYMC. This gives the company a way to profit from rising metal prices. There is a direct link between this and AMC's overall finances, since AMC has a stake in YMC. At the macro level, more job cuts, stress on the global bond market, and repeated actions by the central bank all point to destabilization. When things are uncertain, money tends to move toward assets that are seen as safe havens or chances that aren't being valued correctly. That helps explain why demand hasn't gone away, despite all the bad news. The picture is easier to see when you take a step back and connect all these dots. The latest price action in AMC is not an island. It's where getting money, positioning institutions, market structure, macroeconomic pressure, and long-term strategic investing all meet. Different people will always have different ideas about how prices will change in the future. But the way things are moving right now suggests that the story of AMC is far from over. And what's happening in the background may be much more important than what's being said. That's all we have for you today, guys. What do you think about AMC stock? Join in and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching it.